start of a new financial year, and if you're watching this, you've probably got some big goals to own a successful NDIS registered personal training business. As you guys know, we're the place for that. I'm Scott Hunt, I'm the owner and founder of 𝗵𝘁𝗄𝗿𝗍𝗄, and you've probably been seeing our things for a little bit now, and you've probably got a lot of questions for us. So I've got Mitch here. Mitch is in our franchise sales area, he's one of our PTs here, he helps support all the franchisees around the country. You guys might have spoken to him already, some of you might have spoken to me, and we know you guys always have so many questions. So we're gonna get Mitch to kind of ask you the questions that you guys want to ask me about where we're at, where we're heading as a business, what the opportunities are with us, and yeah, he's gone off the cuff, asking a bunch of questions that he gets asked, and if you haven't had a chance asking yourself, Mitch is going to do that job for you. So I'm going to hand over to Mitch in July 2024, and hopefully get some answers to you guys.
Tell me about how, as a franchise system, we've gone for the beginning of 2024 as well. How have you gone for the first half of 2024, and how's that looking for you at the moment?
Yeah, busy is probably the best word, and that's partly why I'm making this, because I know we've been so chock-a-block with supporting our new franchisees, that potential new ones I personally sometimes don't get enough time to speak to. So speak to Mitch anytime, speak to any other team here as well, and then feel free to book in time with me. But quick summary, the last 6 months we've had 8 new locations open across 6 cities. So that's been extremely exciting and extremely busy. That's pretty much spot on where we want to be. We want to be sort of consistently 1 new location a month, maybe a little bit more. So that's pretty well spot on. That's growing into the future, which we'll discuss more in a sec, where we want to be, because we know we can still deliver that service and look after everyone. In some ways it's busy, but we've been franchised 10 years now. So we've been well and truly ready for this, and having really figured out the NDIS, being well past the COVID hangover that we've all had. Winning Franchise Group of the Year last year was obviously a great big thing for us as well. Yeah, it's exciting to see that all finally happening at the speed that we've been wanting to grow at.
What kind of milestones has Fitness Enhancement and 𝗵𝘁𝗄𝗿𝗍𝗄 sort of hit over the past year as well? And what have you been really proud of? What have you accomplished?
Honestly, it's our franchisees, right? Because it sounds great to say we've had 8 new locations open, but it means nothing. It's the success of the individual people that makes the big difference. So you guys will see some of those promos and testimonials coming out, but come up on Facebook and you'll see it too. So honestly, I think for me personally, having been literally a teenager with $400 and nothing else, and now seeing we've got franchisees and staff members and clients in 9 different cities around the country, hearing the great stories from people is probably the biggest one. Seeing our franchisees being, oh my God, I love what I'm doing as a career now, I love helping my people. There's a financial side to that too. They're loving making a good income as well. Seeing our trainers going, wow, I couldn't quite find my place within the industry. I wasn't interested in the whole gym scene, muscle man stuff. I'm so passionate about helping people with disabilities or people who don't want to go to a gym. That's been huge. And then hearing from clients, seeing their things, the disability, you would have had this too, the disability expert, how many clients we meet who we've never seen before, but we kind of know the names. They come out saying, I train with Kelly or whoever, and bragging at how good they're doing. That's honestly, I think, one of the biggest ones with it, when we can create those opportunities for people, and it's grown so much more beyond just being a little local PT business.
What kind of goals and accomplishments are you sort of envisioning for the next financial year as well?
Yeah, so the goals we've got really planned out for this next financial year, 2024 to 2025. Our growth plans and where we want to be. The biggest one within that though is making sure everyone's happy. We only take on a new franchisee. We've got exclusive territories, of course, but we only take on anyone anywhere near another one when we know it's the right balance for people. So everyone should always be improving when we grow. So that's always got to be the case. From a behind the scenes point of view, we've got a really amazing custom developed CRMs that's uniquely designed for us. There's no sort of software on the market that integrates into NDIS payments and different things like that for the fitness industry. The reason being, because we're pretty much the only company doing it at this sort of scale. So we've developed our own software, and that's been a game changer for our franchisees to have that, so they can get their invoices out quicker, get paid quicker by the NDIS, and streamline the whole process. That's been really important. We've got a lot of other streamlining around that as well, so more support from head office. Mitch is one of our many support people here, sort of half dozen people who are doing this type of role. We've got another couple of people in the team here as well, so continuing to grow that is a really important thing.
If I'm looking for a franchise opportunity, how do I know, say I'm in Melbourne myself, how do I know that territory is still available to me as well?
Yeah, good question. We get a lot of questions. You get that the whole time, right? Because people look on the website and they say, oh, we've already got trailers there, is it sold?
Yeah.
So we currently service over 4,000 suburbs around Australia. We do not have 4,000 personal trainers around Australia, to be clear. So we've got 30 or so franchisees at the moment. And then the majority of those have got staff members working for them as well. So it gives you a ballpark size of the scale. Our typical size of a franchise is, well, our most common sort of size is 3 or 4 staff, and some have got a sort of 10 or 12 staff. Myself is bigger, of course. So it gives you a ballpark size of scope and areas they cover. You do get your exclusive territory that you guys should probably know about from seeing our things already. It doesn't show if that's available on our website at all, because any areas that aren't sold, inquiries come from that, and we give them to the nearest franchisee for free, and they get the perks of that. So, and then we obviously expand with other people. So your best way to find out for a fact if your area is available is actually just reach out. Probably Mitch or Hayley normally handle the first inquiry. Reach out, have that conversation, and see if it's available. We are in some areas, in some cities we're completely sold out, in other cities we're heading that way, so it's just luck of a draw depending on where you are. But the sooner you reach out, the higher the chance there is that your area is available, and we can go from there basically.
Those people that maybe weren't too satisfied with how their previous year has gone, what advice would you give to them to move forward with making better financial sort of choices in a business scenario as well?
Yeah, sure. And look, this is more, I guess, general advice rather than necessarily plugging that we're the right choice. But I think it's the same. I like to relate this back to our clients, who guys are already PTs know this, right? How many clients come to you, they're not happy with how they went last year, they've got a New Year's resolution of where they want to be, and they're going, oh, I don't know what to do, and by not making a choice, they're making a choice to not make a change, and then if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. We all see those same things floating through our Facebook the whole time. We say to our clients the whole time, we see the motivational tips everywhere. It's the same financially, it's the same happiness-wise, it's the same health-wise. You might be fine health-wise if you're a PT or looking to become a PT, but financially you might not be in that situation. There's a lot of PTs in particular who are just not happy where they are financially. It's a crowded market, let's face it. I think everything outside the NDIS is a crowded market. So that's one of the many great reasons that's great to be in the NDIS. If there's ever been anything that you call recession-proof, it's going to be the NDIS. We do not lose a client when interest rates go up, put it that way. With the enhancement side, we do. Still obviously successful with it, but it is a lot more almost recession-proof. So I think look towards the opportunity and go, what changes can you make? If you're great, this is a normal thing we see with PTs. You're an awesome PT, but you're an average business owner, an average marketer, an average bookkeeper, and therefore your whole outcome is pretty average. So solve those problems. Get someone in who's going to do that. It could be, in effect, outsourcing it, for want of a better word, to us, to partner with us to do it. It could be getting someone else to do it. It could be changing whatever other circumstances you're in, changing your jobs, but just make a change would always be my biggest suggestion. And this is my same line saying to clients, look at what didn't work for you last time, right? If just going and, I don't know, pumping more ads into Facebook for your business didn't work crash hot last year, it probably won't work crash hot this year. So don't repeat the same mistake. We say to clients too, right? If joining a gym last year didn't work, joining pretty much the same place with a different sign over the door this year, probably not going to work crash hot either. So don't do that. Look for something different, and don't just sit on the fence, because otherwise what's going to happen, just like new calendar year resolutions, you get to the next year and you got the exact same New Year's resolution. So make a change, explore it deep, reach out, have a conversation with our team to see if that might be for us, and even if it's not, you'll probably get some good feedback and advice as to what is going to be for you.
Fitness Enhancement and Fit Your Ability has grown really, really well, and you've seen some awesome results for it as well. And that growth seems to be quite exponential, which is great for everybody, great for the franchisees, great for the franchisor obviously as well. In 10 years' time, where do you see your franchise system being at? What kind of level?
Yeah, good question. We get that sometimes too because, you know, people have seen different franchises explode and, okay, let's say it, 𝗵𝘁𝗶𝗁𝗂𝗏 is a good example. They started 10 years ago. Funnily enough, same year we franchised. We know where they are today. So we get that a bit. So I guess I'm a big believer in the biggest indicator of the future is the past, right? So I've been going 25 years with the same mission, the same goals. I think in 25 years I'll be in the same, certainly in 10 years time. And that's going to be helping people achieve their goals when they can't or won't go to a regular gym. That's what it was from day one, quarter of a century ago now. So that will always be the case. In terms of then our PTs and our staff, you know, we've had staff for 20 years now. As in my longest service staff was 14 years to be clear, a former staff member now, but I've had staff working in my business across the last couple of decades. So it's always been about looking after people, helping people, whether it be working for us, such as Mitch, or some of our many mobile PTs who work for us, who do nothing but PT, or actually owning the business. It's just joining forces with more like-minded people and continuing to grow.
What kind of vision do you see for NDIS itself, and what direction do you see NDIS taking in the very near future as well?
Yeah, we get it a lot. There's a lot of media at the moment about the NDIS and what's happening with that, and yeah, I think the media just likes to jump on the media bandwagon about that sometimes. So I guess we'll talk about how it affects us. Now, for starters, the NDIS is only one part of what we do. Right? That's it. It's a very big and very important part of us now, but it is only one part. So I think any business should always have multiple parts to it to be a good, strong, safe, secure business over the years. I think when the NDIS reform does come out, it's going to be a good thing for us because you look at the problems that we are seeing in the NDIS. It's occasionally we're hearing about fraud. Clearly, that should be cut out everywhere, in every way, shape, and form. But we're also seeing a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, a whole variety of problems. They're the ones we tend to come across. I personally, the problems I see in it, it's not normally any misintent from people. It's a lack of understanding. So I think the crackdown on it will mean it's very hard to do much without being NDIS registered, such as we are. So that's probably going to be very good for us in that sort of respect. I think it will create more hassle and paperwork in-house to load on certain people here. But that's okay, that's why you guys are part of the system, is because that's our job to take care of all that, do all that for you, so you can then focus on helping people face to face and have minimal paperwork within the system. It's certainly nothing that's going to be disappearing because, you know, there's a lot of people who desperately need the help of the NDIS. Remember, what we do in our service is a tiny fragment of a much broader system. So it's certainly going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, but get stricter and stricter and stricter. And hey, if that helps more people and tax dollars go to better use, then I think that's a great thing.
So, as the the #1 leading NDIS registered personal training company in Australia, what kind of events do you have coming up where you're going to be passing on your information, maybe, or even presenting at like future conferences and events and things like that?
Yeah, sure. So we're really passionate about that advocacy for helping our industry become more inclusive to people living with a disability. So obviously we're always there promoting ability and come to us and be a part of our team, but regardless, we want to see our industry getting better with that. So we recently had the Healthy Aging Summit that I presented at, which Mitch and Tyler came along to. We've got in Melbourne on the 2nd of August, so in a few weeks, we've got the Ignite Fitness Business Summit. So that's one-day event for that, and there's a Women's Fitness Summit the following day as well. I'll be presenting at that on the NDIS. So that as well, if you guys who haven't been to a fitness industry conference, I'd really recommend you come along to this. If you're in Melbourne, come to Ignite. If you're not in Melbourne, well, I've got to go to the bad weather, you can come too, right? So I'd really recommend you come along to it. For me personally, just to backtrack a little bit, it was probably about 10, 11 years ago when we started sort of franchising. I started going, okay, I'll commit to all the conferences just as a visitor, not as a speaker, certainly not back then. And it's such a great thing to improve your education, improve your career, and meet the best in the industry. So regardless of plug of my own agenda here, get along to Ignite if you're in Melbourne. Just reach out to me and I can help you out with discounts on tickets and so on too. So I'll be speaking at that one. That means we'll also be in Melbourne to also speak, catch up with our current franchisees, of course, as I always do in each city, and speak with potential new ones. So if you're in Melbourne, make sure you reach out to meet me. I'll be there a couple of days either side with various meetings. Make sure you reach out to meet with me then as well.
It's early July right now at the moment, and our next franchise intake is going to be in August. And I believe there's only one spot available left in the next franchise intake. Tell us a little bit about how the intakes work and what's involved with the whole process.
Yeah, so guys, there is legitimately one spot left. I know when you see my ads popping up, it probably sounds like a marketing line, but there is genuinely one spot left. Our last two were completely sold out. If you saw our promo things, our photos of our new people on board, hence see what we've had 8 new locations start in this first half of 2024. So there is one spot left for August. So basically the process from when someone is ready to go, stepping back a step, it's a conversation with Mitch or Hayley. If you haven't spoken to them yet, then a conversation with me. You need to tick approval from us, we need to tick approval from you. It's then paying a deposit from there. It's then starting the legal process, and from the time you pay a deposit to the time you're signed and sealed is about a 1 month process because of cooling off periods with franchise codes and stuff like that. So it might be early July now, but if you don't push hard on it now, you will not make the August intake if that's what you're potentially looking at. So time is of the essence if you're looking at that. Considering exclusive territories, considering how fast we're growing at, if you are thinking, maybe one day, now is the time to reach out, because it's an awkward conversation when you've had this before. We have to be like, I'm really sorry, there's nothing else available. Would you like to get a job with us? Maybe. Don't be that position. Reach out now. So that's with the August one. Time is of the essence. We will likely have one more franchise training at the end of the year. So that will be your next option. So if you're looking at starting in 2025, early 2025, it's either the August one or the one that will be after that to try and get in. So time's of the essence to reach out. When we do the franchise training, really that is just the beginning of everything. There are 3 days face-to-face training with our whole team working with you and the rest of the franchisees starting up. But that is really just the beginning. The support is ongoing the whole time. It's never you trained up, see you later. We are business partners. As your business partners, we're there to help you and support you through the good and the bad of everything in life and business that goes on. So it all starts with, I guess, reaching out and hoping your area is available still.
A lot of information to unpack from everything that we've just gone over. Any final thoughts on everything that we've talked about for the new financial year?
Honestly, guys, just reach out, have a chat. If you're sitting on the fence, have a chat. That way you'll know if it is for you or it's not for you, and you can move forward in whichever direction. And we're the same too, right? We'd like to know if we're for you or we're not for you. Not everyone is the right fit for us. That's how we keep our standards so high. But yeah, reach out, have a conversation, and either way you'll walk away with some great insight on where you should be heading in what will hopefully be a really awesome new financial year for you.
Awesome. Well, it's great chatting with you, Scott, and we'll see you next financial year.